Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Dwayne Campbell 5034. With the wrist check, I'm all out of review watches due to the Chinese New Year. So I'm wearing my workout watch, my Casio W800HM. And Grego is still wearing my Sterling GMT watch. Grego asked me if I would review a Seiko 5 GMT watch. I said no way, because it should never have been released as a Seiko 5, because it doesn't adhere to the 5 key features of Seiko 5. One of them being a day-date complication, and it only has a date. That wasn't part of the agreement. He said they altered the agreement. Just pray they don't alter it again. Let's take a look at the watch. This Dwayne Campbell came in a different box. The last two came in these little velvet boxes that were just barely big enough for the watch. And this box is much bigger. The irony, though, is the other boxes were so small they couldn't fit the unsigned warranty card in them. And this one is big enough they can fit the unsigned warranty card, but they didn't include it. So all they included was the box and the little insert. But here is the watch. Isn't that a nice looking watch? That looks a lot like the Omega. This is the third Dwayne Campbell on my channel. Dwayne Campbell makes solid steel NH35 powered watches with sapphire crystals for a very reasonable price, and so far I've been very pleased with the brand. Of course, more than likely, there is no Dwayne Campbell, just like there is no Betty Crocker. Just a name that somebody in marketing thought was appealing, although I think they missed the mark just a bit. At least I know I'm pronouncing it correctly. This 5034 is an homage to the Omega Seamaster Pro, which is Omega's direct competitor of the Submariner, but at half the cost. And unlike the Rolex, you can walk into an authorized dealer and get one that very day at a significant discount. When it comes to Seamaster homages, this Dwayne Campbell nails it. This is what Jody calls a photocopier homage that tries to get as close to possible to the original watch, at least in the looks department. Unfortunately, this does involve a little fakery, as it has a non-functional helium escape valve. Most Chinese homage companies have come to the conclusion that since the helium escape valve is the thing people hate most about the real Seamaster, why include it in an homage? Dwayne Campbell didn't get the memo. This watch comes in 5 different colorways. It has the basic black, green, and blue with matching bezels. If you want to mix it up a bit, there is the white dial with the black bezel, which is probably the most popular Seamaster colorway. There's also a gray dial with the blue bezel, which is probably my least favorite. There is no time to die option. The watch is 41.8 millimeters at the bezel, 47.8 millimeters lug to lug with protruding end links. It's 14.6 millimeters thick, including the dome crystal and this pretty big case back. Has a 20 millimeter lug width. It weighs 156 grams on the supplied bracelet with 2 links removed. The bezel is a 90-click unidirectional with a ceramic insert. The bezel looks really nice. I really like that insert. They did a really good job with it. The font is just perfect, and the markers are nice and thick and very well distinguished. And this Lume pip is right in the middle of the triangle. No misalignment there. But it is a 90 click. So they went the Pagani design route. I don't know what it is with these 90 click Seamaster homages, but 90 click it is. The action is not great. It's not horrible, but there's no back play. But the clicks are just, well, I don't know. The more I play with it, I think the action's good. It's just hard. I've never been a fan of the Seamaster scallops. I'd rather have a coin edge. It's just easier to grip. So the action's not horrible, but it's not great either. Did I go one too far? And once again, I wish it would have been a 120 click. All right, that seems to line up now. Then we have the dial. The dial is really nice. It's got that little wave pattern, just like a real Omega does. Then up top, it says DC for Dwayne Campbell. Then in red, it says chronometer. And this is not a chronometer. This is an NH35 movement, which has never been rated as a chronometer before. So I don't know if this is, once again, is this one of those lost in translation things where they just started adding buzzwords willy-nilly and didn't really know what they meant, or if this is a deliberate attempt to deceive. Then underneath the chronometer, it says Dwayne Campbell. Then on the bottom, it says automatic, water resistant, and you only get 100 meters. Of course, this is not ISO 6425 certified, so you wouldn't dive with this watch anyway, so 100 meters should be plenty. You can at least swim with it, no problem. Then we have applied Lume indices with a double baton at the 12, single batons at the 3 and the 9, and dots everywhere else. And then we have skeleton hands with a dot at the hour hand and a little triangle at the minute hand. And then we have a lollipop second hand with the red tip. And that looks really nice. And then the best thing of all, we have a date at the 6. A lot of these Chinese homages don't have dates at the 6 because you can't use the stock date wheel if you do the date at the 6. And so you have to change the date wheel, and that just adds to the cost. But Dwayne Campbell did that. Now, it looks kind of like it's color matched, but it's not. It's black. It's not blue, but black is so close to blue, it sure looks a lot better than it would if it was a white one. So I'm not going to ding that. Then we have an unsigned screw-down crown with significant crown guards. They actually protect the crown. They don't just act like a little pedestal. Pops nicely. And when you go to screw it down, the thread action's great. It catches right away, and you don't feel a lot of resistance with the threads. You never feel like you're going to strip it. So that's good. And then you have the helium escape valve, and it's fake. You can't unscrew it. It doesn't work. It's just a prop. Once again, I don't know why they did that. Everybody hates the helium escape valve on the real Seamaster. So if you're going to make an homage and you're going to not make a real one, why even include it? Nobody's going to complain. Oh no, you don't have a fake helium escape valve. And then we have a dome sapphire crystal. And there has to be absolutely no air coating at all because there was just a ton of reflection. As you saw in my montage, I have reflection everywhere. I just can't find a place where I don't see any reflection. If there's light, there will be reflection. But it's a nice looking crystal, just lots of reflection. And then we have the case. The case is wonderful. It's really nicely finished. Then we have chamfered edge right there. It's brushed, except for the polished chamfered edges. And it's just really nice case. They did a really good job. Really nice finish work. And I like how the crown guards just kind of smoothly slope up. Really good case. Then we have a screw down display case back. But look at that. It's got that Omega pattern. So I don't have a tool to open it. I guess you could try one of them little squishy balls and see if they work. But yeah, I don't know why they did that. Yes, it makes it look more like the Omega. But I'd rather have a case back I can actually take off if I need to. And I don't want to have to buy Omega tools because this would be the only case back I have that has this. So, wish they would have went with just a normal slotted one. And there's no writing on it. I mean, it's a nice looking case back. It's just, once again, I'd rather have it easy to remove. Underneath the case back is the NH35 movement. This is the go-to automatic movement in watches in this price range. It's a 3 Hertz movement with 24 joules. It hand winds hacks and has a bidirectional rotor and about a 40-hour power reserve. And they're usually fairly accurate right off the shelf. Every once in a while I get a turkey, but I haven't checked this one out yet, so this will be new to me too. Here it is on the time grapher. As you can see, it's running about +7. So that's some pretty good numbers there. 260 degrees of amplitude and 0.3 milliseconds beat error. So a little bit of beat error there. But it's running good, and at least it's running fast. You always want a hacking movement to run fast and not slow, because it's just easier to set it later on when it drifts enough. Because all you have to do is hack it and wait for time to catch up. A slow movement, you actually have to move the hands. So I don't know if Dwayne Campbell actually regulates their movements at the factory or not, but this one's looking pretty good. The bracelet is a 5-link, and it's the Omega Seamaster style. I only ever see these on the Seamaster Pros. A lot of people don't like these bracelets. I don't know. I guess they're different. I mean, there's so many oyster style bracelets out there. It's kind of nice to see something a little bit different. We have solid protruding end links. And the bracelet is not fully articulating. The center links are fixed with the outer links. And we have push pin adjusters, not screw pins. I always say this, but I'm perfectly happy with push pins. I know screw pins sound like a premium item, but push pins are just easier than screw pins, and I never have to worry about losing them. And then we have the clasp. The clasp has a diver's extension. Now, it's a very nice diver's extension. It's milled and not pressed. But the trouble is, the diver's extension takes up all the room in the clasp. There is no micro adjust. So if you want to adjust the bracelet, the only thing you can do is add or remove links. That's the only way. And so I'm not a fan of that. If I had a choice between a diver's extension on a watch I'm never going to dive with or micro adjust, I'd rather have micro adjust. So I don't know why they went that way. The clasp is unsigned, but I don't know how hard. It's going to be difficult to change the clasp because look, each end is this little 5mm thing. So you're going to have to find a clasp with 2 different 5mm ends. I found one on AliExpress, but it was like 30, 40 bucks. And I'm never going to buy that to put on this watch. This watch cost me $55. So why am I going to spend that much on a clasp? I just wouldn't do it. I found a few bracelets that had better clasps that would have fit this, but once again, I didn't order one because I figured, what's the point? But it's a nice clasp. It's milled. It's just, I mean, it's fully milled. The upper's milled too. I just wish they had micro adjust over diver's extension. Oh, one thing I wanted to point out too, they put the clasp on backwards. It's upside down. So they did that too on the Dwayne Campbell sub homage I reviewed. So I don't know why they did that. At first, when I got the first Dwayne Campbell with it this way, I thought it was just they messed up. But now that I have 2 in a row that have the clasp on upside down, I'm having a feeling it was intentional. Here's the watch and my 7.5-inch wrist. It's a really nice looking watch. It does look a lot like a Omega Seamaster Pro. And it is finished very nicely. I removed 2 links to fit on my 7.5-inch wrist. And these links aren't huge, so 8 inches, that's probably the best you're going to do without getting a different bracelet. Or I don't know if you can ask Dwayne Campbell for more links or not. Here we are in the Lume room. The Dwayne Campbell Nautilus homage I reviewed had horrible Lume, but the sub homage had excellent Lume. So let's see how this Seamaster homage does. As we speed up the time, we see that unfortunately the Seamaster homage doesn't even come close to matching their sub homage. We have the green glow of C3, but the tips of the hands are by far the weakest and fade first. The baton indices fade next, followed by the dots. About the only good thing is the Lume pip, which is useless without the minute hand. What do I like about this watch? Well, the dial and the bezel, they just totally really nail the look of a Seamaster. It looks nice. I really like this nicely finished case and bracelet. They did a really good job with the finish work. And I like the fact that it has a date at the 6. And yeah, it's not truly color matched, but the black's so close to the blue you can't really tell. What are my grapes and groans? Fake helium escape valve. They put the bracelet on upside down. The clasp has a useless diver's extension instead of micro adjust. There's a ton of crystal reflection. The substandard Lume isn't near as good as their sub homage. The case back has that annoying omega shape, so I can't open it. The bracelet could be longer, only fits 8-inch wrist. And it says chronometer when it clearly is not. Do I recommend this watch? You would think with such a long list of gripes and groans I would say no, but the dial and finish is so well done and the price is so affordable that it makes up for all those shortcomings, and I give this watch an overwhelming yes. Well, thank you for watching my review of the Dwayne Campbell 5034, and I will be back with an unboxing. I finally going to have some watches in the mail today. So the big old delay from Chinese New Year hopefully is over. Be sure and like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link and I'll get a small commission that will help keep this channel going and help me be able to buy maybe better watches. And if you want to participate in the Members' Choice vote that's coming up, be sure to join my channel. Bye.